The Untamed Healer podcast is for us to come together and have conversations around secret desires, the things that people aren't talking about or too afraid to, what lights your soul on fire and yet you're silently whispering. I call these the healer's kink. The energy of this podcast is unfuckwithable, unfiltered, unbecoming, taking up space at the table and standing in your power. Consider this podcast the grounded, revamped, unapologetic spiritual school for the untamed healer. This is for healers, lightworkers, soulpreneurs, and service-minded spiritual entrepreneurs who are ready to have the details on how to create a life and spiritual business that finally sets your soul free. Welcome to the corner of the internet where we take up space, where we do not give our power away to anything outside of us. We stand up, clear our fears one by one, and boldly move toward what we are intending and manifesting with courage and confidence. I'm your host, Kristen Jones. Let's head to the show. Are you actually giving your soul what it needs? Like truly. I want you to just sit with that question for a second. Are you actually giving your soul what it needs? I want to have a conversation with you around this specific topic because we are getting ready to go into the holidays, and what I know to be true about women and definitely with healers, that sometimes the ball just gets dropped on what it is that you need, taking care of you, allowing boundaries to be crossed, allowing people pleasing to step back in. And I just want to draw a line in the sand, not even the sand, like let's grab the stick and the wet concrete and let's draw a line there. Put it in concrete. No boundaries to be crossed. No more people pleasing. Doing what lights you up. Saying yes to what lights you up. Isn't that what we're here to do? To live a life of joy, of love, of bliss. And yes, I know we're having a human experience. And yes, I know there's feels that come in with this. And yes, I know there's going to be situations in your life that require you to just do shit that you really don't fucking want to do. I get it. So let's have a conversation on the topic of what I have been calling for myself soul food. Giving my soul exactly what it needs. And I want to share this with you in a vulnerable space and just get real. And you're probably like, well, maybe you're like, I don't know. You're like, what the hell? You haven't been around for a while now and all of a sudden you're coming back with some soul food. Yes, that's just what we do around here. And I just want to share like what's actually been going on and also the concept of soul food, how I've integrated into my life. And I also, P.S., am doing a free self-care challenge inside of our Instagram broadcast channel called the Quantum Healers Realm. So I'll put that in the show notes for you. If you are not inside, you definitely want to be in there. We are going to be doing this together. I'm going to keep it simple, but I'll get into that in just a second. Also, do we love the name Quantum Healers Realm? I had named my broadcast channel on Instagram the Untamed, well, it was actually Untamed Conversations. And I was feeling very pulled to name it something else. And I knew I wanted healer within that. And I was like brainstorming and writing out, and quantum was in there and quantum healers and like all kinds of different things. And I had everybody in there help me name it. So if you were part of that, thank you. And then the suggestion also came for Quantum Healers Realm, because Healers Realm actually won, and Quantum Healers Realm was one that I had an idea but didn't have enough spots on my poll inside of the broadcast channel, and then someone suggested it and I was like, yes, girl. Let's have you guys vote between the two now. And that one won. So super fun, right? Okay, so you know what's wild is I launched the Untamed Healer podcast on 11/11/2023. Right in between a time where I found out my husband got orders. Well, he was getting orders. He was chosen for a new position in the military and we were going to be moving. But then there was a stop on orders for whatever military reasons, blah, blah, blah. And it was right before we got official orders at the beginning of December. And I was like, Okay, well, how am I going to pack up my entire house, which we have movers come for that. We don't move ourselves. We can, we just choose not to because no thank you. And we moved our entire lives across the country. Now, look, you probably have gotten this vibe from me, but I am someone that goes into pretty much every situation with a positive outlook. I go into it with an open heart, with an open mind, with excitement for the new adventure. I did not fucking want to leave South Dakota. I did not want to leave South Dakota. We were 8 hours from family. Holidays got to be a thing. We had family coming every summer. It was so much fun. If we wanted to take a long weekend down to Colorado or whatever, it was fun. We vacationed in Minnesota and Colorado and Wyoming and Wisconsin and Montana. I mean, obviously over in Iowa, where my husband and I are originally from. Yes, we're high school sweethearts. And that aside, Jeep country, hello, my Jeep was living her best fucking life. You could literally, as long as you have a sticker on your vehicle and you are respectful of the land and use the trails, you can go to any open trail. So we did all the time. The hiking is abundant, the air is clean. Now, it is really far away from everything. Rapid City is basically an island. It's 5 hours to Denver, 5 hours to Sioux Falls. Like it's 5 hours from any major city. And that population was only like 200,000, I think. Anyway, I loved living there. The Midwest, if you're not familiar, is very simple. It is very slow paced. It is an easy lifestyle. My kids had their support. They had school support. They had teacher support. My oldest son had some medical support with some things. All the doctors and everything there was support all the way around. We knew people. We knew where we were going, like all the things. We literally thought that we were going to retire out of there. So I did not want to leave South Dakota. But I did have an RRT session around this as well to allow my subconscious mind to get on board with what I knew was inevitable anyway. And I came down here in San Antonio to a beautiful home. It was absolutely gorgeous out. I love snow and I love 4 seasons, but I was like, I'm going to embrace this shit. This is cool. I can be fine with this. And my husband did his training. I can't remember how long it was at this point now. So much has happened since then. And after he graduated in the middle of May and he started his training qualification period, shit got real. And a lot of the other spouses of this specific career field had said, it's kind of like they're deployed, but they get to come home at night. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. I mean, it's great. I love sleeping next to my husband, but that sounds like a lot of hours. And it's basically live your life. Don't ever expect that he can join. And if he can, amazing. Now, during this training qualification period, and he also has run his own first official flight, I was like, whoa. Now, my husband is like king of chill. He's super chill and very grounded. He has a Taurus, not a Taurus rising. Nope, he has a Virgo rising. My son is a Taurus all the way around. Anyway, so he is king of chill, handles stress really well, can multitask like no other at work, he's perfect for this job. I, on the other hand, have been, supporting my children, of course. I get to support my children through their transition. Also figuring out too, all doctors and everything else that entails. Managing the household and blah, 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 everything, just human stuff. And all of a sudden, it was probably around July, it just fucking hit me. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much. And then I got through it. And then October hit. And I was like, okay, I'm losing my mind. This is so much. And this is just me having a real moment with you. I started getting a little bit edgier. I was exhausted. Like, it didn't matter how much slept I got, I was exhausted, just mentally, physically, emotionally. And I'm still showing up and doing my business. This is my joy. This is my joy. This is like, oh my gosh, I can feel this in my heart when I say this. Like, my business is my baby. This is my company. This is my life's work. This is my legacy. And so this piece of it, I was stoked about. And it was just like everything in my personal life was like, I could feel the pressure of being the one everyone goes to in our household and relies on. And it was fucking hard. And so I started therapy. I haven't been in therapy for a while. I have a coach too. I have a business coach. She's fucking awesome. She helps me with the strategy side. She also does like somatics, and we talk a lot about energetics and mindset type stuff too whenever I'm feeling called to like have those conversations, because I really love that stuff. Of course, duh. And also, I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to take all of these emotions and these things that I'm feeling, and I need to be able to just spit them out to someone that can help me really see the bigger picture of what I wasn't seeing. And I also just really wanted to be seen and heard. And I didn't want to like offload all the time on my husband, although he is like, it's fine. Like, he's fantastic. And so, yeah, I was like, let me use my resources. Let me get set up with someone to talk. And it's been great. And I mean, it's only been like 2 sessions. Well, one really official session, because the first one was more of an intake, but though we did do some talking. And so right around that same time that I had set up to start therapy, I was like sitting in the bathtub and I was bawling as I was utilizing, if you're a military spouse and you're not using Military One Source, go use it. There are so many resources available to us. But anyway, so I'm getting set up through Military One Source, and then the next day I was like, okay, that's set up. I feel good about that. Now, let me go do what I need to do for me. And so I just kind of set out on a mission. And after my first session with her, like that intake, that was really when I hit the ground. And I was like, okay, panels off the Jeep. I know some of you guys have snow on the ground or it's really chilly. It's your winter. Trust me, I would love to be in my Uggs and my oversized hoodies and not be sweating my ballerinas off, but it's fine. I took the panels off of my Jeep and I'm enjoying the sunshine more. I am reading for pleasure. I have not done that in a long time. Most of what I read is personal development because I really love that. But I actually am reading, oh, it's not next to me, Revenge of the Forgotten by Danny Crooks. So far, so good. I was like, I just want to read for me. I'm journaling every single day. Sometime during the day, doesn't matter. After every single workout, I have a gym membership now, and I was working out at the gym on base before we moved. Well, when I wasn't injured, because last year I tore my calf just before Halloween. So, we're overcoming an injury. But that's where I did work out. And then I was working out at the fitness center in our HOA. And I was like, you know what? No, I actually want a gym membership, something with more variety. And so I got one, and they have hydro massage chairs and massage chairs. And I'm like, okay, so every single workout, I'm going to go sit in the hydro chair or in the actual massage chair because I love the way it makes me feel. And no scrolling, no checking notifications, no replying to anyone. This is my time. So I listen to binaural beats, or I have been listening to meditations too. I'm obviously not dropping all the way in, but it's me time. So I'm doing that. I went hiking. And so I just like, I won't spare you, or I'll spare you all like the things that I've decided to do. But I just started checking in with what is my soul need? What is the fuel that I can give my soul? The soul food, because food is fuel, right? So, what is the fuel that I can give my soul? And giving myself soul food. And I started talking about this on my Instagram stories. And that's where the free self care challenge came in. And I'm telling you, I feel calmer. I feel lighter. I'm already noticing there's a shift. I have been stepping into awareness of even more things. Like, it's an ongoing thing. There's just an ongoing growth journey, right? But I just realized that through the move, it wasn't that I thought I had to have it together. That's like so far from the truth. But I just realized somewhere in the move, I started taking care of everybody else's needs and the needs of our household, that I really wasn't actually giving myself what I need. I really didn't have any hobbies or anything. And so I didn't make a huge list. I've done that before. If you like to make lists, by all means go do it. And just deciding what it is that you want to do. And I have no pressure on myself to do certain things. Now, I will say I want to meditate every day. Doesn't matter how long, but meditation every day. It can look different every day. That does not matter to me. But journaling and meditating are my non-negotiables. And then I work out 5 days a week, except for the week of my cycle. It's usually 3 to 5 days, kind of depending on where it falls. Those are my non-negotiables. And I'm going to the gym anyway, so I might as well fucking sit my happy butt in the hydro massage chair and get a massage. So I just decided what my non-negotiables were, and everything else is a bonus, and I'm trusting my soul. And you know what else I've been doing is have realized that I was trying to get my schedule or my routine to look like it did in South Dakota. And the truth is, we're not in South Dakota anymore. And also, things are very different here. Life is so different here. And that's okay. Different does not mean bad. But it doesn't look like it used to. And I had subconsciously been trying to make that work. Also, last year in August, we got a puppy. That was a total accident. If you want to know that story, just DM me. I'll tell you. And I will show you a picture of Jax, who has many names. He is a German Shepherd Labrador mix. And oh my God, just like such a bundle of everything. He's so amazing. We already have 2 dogs and a cat. So, we added a puppy in the mix, and that changed up my schedule as well. So there was a lot of like moving parts and changes that had happened. And I realized I was getting frustrated in the morning when I wanted to journal, when I just wanted a moment of silence. When Jax wakes up as a bundle of energy, it's just like this whole ball of like, let's go, and wants to play. And I'm like, I should just play with him. Like, let me give my puppy what he needs, and he's going to chill later, and I'll journal later. And also, this is interesting too. I have been like on TikTok consistently so let me take that back. I was going to say consistently for a year, but I actually stepped back from TikTok when we were moving. And then I tried to reintegrate it, and I was like, whoop, it's not time yet. And then I want to say since maybe June or so, I've been consistent, and it's been so much fun. I feel so alive on that platform. It is so much fun. So if you're not following me on TikTok, I'll leave that in the show notes too. So much fun. But I've been playing around with a launch now of doing it just like mostly through TikTok. I've never done it this way. But Instagram, like Facebook is just like Facebook, you already know. It's so funny. Each platform has its own ego, like its own like persona or whatever you want to call it. And so I'm on Facebook. I repurpose everything there as well. But Instagram is kind of throwing some fits lately, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just play. Let's just be in the energy of play. What feels fun? Let me follow the joy. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you. What lights you up? What fills your soul? I cannot stand the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup. I think it's so overused and it's just like, bleh. Even though it's true, but it's like, when was the last time you put your own oxygen mask on first? When was the last time you were like, kids alive, they're breathing, they're fed, they're happy, they're entertained, they know they're loved. Check, check, check. Let me go take a bath. P.S. I've been taking several baths a week. I typically only do it like, I don't know, every other week. And then the week of my cycle is like 2 or 3 times. But I was like, I manifested the fuck out of this house. Why am I not using the tub? And so I actually just bought more bath salts last night. I have a specific candle that I love to use in there and like lights off, and I'll just let myself do whatever I want. I usually meditate. Sometimes I'll scroll, like just doom scroll just to laugh and see what TikTok land I end up in or, whatever. But I'll read or I'll meditate or I'll listen to a podcast or something, just whatever, and just be. So when was the last time that you put your own oxygen mask on? So I want to invite you to put your own oxygen mask on. And with this self-care challenge, I'm calling it Soul Food. I would love for you to join. We start on Monday. What is that? The 18th. Oh, it's 444. Those have been my numbers lately. I have so much to update you on. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Just, I'm not even going to spill the tea yet. You just got to come back. We're talking about like the Reiki school. You've heard me talk about quantum illumination Reiki. Ooh, if you're not on the wait list, you need to be. We also did a free dose of quantum illumination Reiki. Like, we're doing a lot of like really fun things behind the scenes that I'm so excited about. And also I got some really great feedback for some upcoming episodes. I was like, you know what? It's been a while since we've just got on the podcast and just spoke from the heart. And I was like, how can I do this fun? So I'm going to keep this light. Right now I'm sitting in my Zen den because that's what felt aligned, but there might be some upcoming episodes where I'm out and about. Maybe I'm taking a walk. Maybe I'm at a coffee shop. Maybe I'm sitting in the Jeep. No, I won't do this while I'm driving, but maybe I'm sitting in the Jeep. Sometimes my best ideas come in the shower or in my Jeep. I don't know. It's because we're undistracted during those times. So yeah, of course, that's when all the best ideas come. And we're just going to let it flow. We're going to get unleashed. We're going to continue the real, the raw, the unleashed. I asked for some feedback on some episodes. So if you ever want to hear something specific on the Untamed Taylor podcast, shoot me a message. I am all ears. Shoot me a DM, Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you're following me, or an email, whatever. I hear you. I'd be happy to riff on something for you. I've had 3 really specific ones come in, so I'm super jazzed. And then I was like, how long do you guys want the podcast episodes to be? Do you want to like pull up a seat, sis, and let's chat kind of vibe? Or pull up a seat, dude? I know sometimes we have dudes listening, so don't want to dismiss that too. But like, is this a pull up a seat and let's have a conversation? Or is this a speak to my soul, grab my shoulders and wake my soul up, like unleash? Maybe it's like a 10 to 15 minute riff, and it was mostly 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm a Gemini sun, right? I'm a Gemini sun. I'm going to do my best to keep it around those, but I hear you. And I am having so many ideas coming to just get on and riff. And sometimes when I'm working with my clients too, I'm like, somebody else needs to hear that. And I'm like, let's put this on the podcast. So she coming back. We're coming back with fire. But I wanted to come back first with the real, like, here's how things have been going. I'm not necessarily going to call this season 2, but we've been doing this podcast specifically for a year now. So good. So join us in Soul Food, our free self-care challenge for healers. It starts on Monday. I think it's the 17th. Oh, nope, I lied. Monday, November 18th, inside of our Instagram broadcast channel called Quantum Healers Realm. I will leave that direct link in the show notes for you to join. And even if you're listening to this sometime in the future, still come join our channel because we would love to have you hang out in our healer community. And we're going to keep this super, super simple. I want this laid back. I want this chill. I want this like somewhere where it's speaking to your soul. I want you to come home to you. I don't want this to feel like one more thing that you have to check in and do. I want this to feel like this feels fun. I feel held accountable. Let me check in and see what there is going on, and let me share what it is that I've done for my soul food for the day. So I'm super jazzed to do this with you. And I cannot wait to breathe life into your soul, both the real and the raw, and the highs and the lows, quote, highs and lows, and the human experience that we're having, as well as the shaking you into remembering who the F you are, waking up your soul and setting your soul on fire as you step into your mother effing power. So excited to be here. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you inside our community. Thank you so much for listening to The Untamed Healer. With each and every episode, I just know that you are moving forward and stepping more and more into your power and taking up space at the table. Be sure to check out the show notes for all relevant information mentioned throughout this episode. And if we're not friends on Instagram, be sure to give me a follow. I love to connect with my soul family. If you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave me a review on iTunes. This lets me know that you're enjoying what I'm providing you and helps other healers and lightworkers find their way to our corner of the internet so they too can step into their power with courage and confidence. Until next time, let's rise.